Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to answer where I think Amazon's stock price could be by the end of 2026. Now, to make this price prediction, I'm going to use some estimates and assumptions to come up with the conclusion of where I think Amazon's stock price will be. So without further ado, let's jump into this Amazon stock prediction.
I want to thank the Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/parkev for the 10 best stocks to buy now.
All right, so one of the numbers I'm going to need is Amazon's price to earnings ratio. And as of this recording, Amazon's PE ratio is 60.37. I'm also going to need Amazon's current stock price. Right now, Amazon is at $175 per share. You can see the stock price has been on an incredible rally since bottoming out in early 2023. Of course, I rated Amazon stock as one of my top stocks to buy to begin 2024, and it's still on my list of top stocks to buy for 2024. So if you followed that recommendation, you had made some money on Amazon stock. I'm also going to need Amazon's earnings per share forecast for 2026. To get that number, I'm going to take its 2025 earnings per share forecast, which comes in at $4.78. And I also have Amazon's growth rate for earnings per share per year for the next 5 years. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 14.7% and multiply the growth rate against the earnings per share estimate for 2025 to get the 2026 earnings per share. But don't worry, I'm going to show you step by step how I do that in the next slide. So here I have my valuation model for Amazon stock. First, I want to draw your attention to the bottom left-hand corner with the yellow. So I mentioned already I got the earnings per share forecast for 2025 at $4.78. I also got the growth rate expected for the next 5 years per year in earnings per share of 14.7%. So when I apply this growth rate to the 2025 earnings per share, I get an earnings per share estimate for 2026 of $5.48. That's what I'm incorporating here with Amazon's EPS of 2026 of $5.48. So if Amazon is on pace to earn $5.48 in earnings per share, and its price to earnings ratio stays the same as where it's at now at 60, then Amazon's stock price could be $328 by the end of 2026. So as you might remember, it's at $175 right now. So that would be a roughly $150 increase, or almost doubling from the current share price. So some upside remains to be sure for Amazon stock. But what if the PE ratio was to fall to 50 instead of 60? Well, then Amazon stock price could increase to $274 per share, which would be up by about $100 per share over 2 years. Again, a solid return on investment. If the PE were to fall to 45, then Amazon stock price could rise to 246. Again, solid return on investment from where it's at today. And then finally, the lowest PE ratio I've modeled here at 40, Amazon stock price could rise to $219 per share. Again, about $45 above where it's at today. So all the scenarios I've valued here has Amazon stock price increasing over the next 2 years. In fact, if I modeled out a forward price to earnings of 25 or 30 is where Amazon stock price would fall from here to 2026. So in order for Amazon stock price to decrease, the PE multiple would have to nearly halve from where it's at today, or the earnings per share estimates would need to come down from where they are today. If I had to pick one of those two, which one of those two is more likely, I would say the PE ratio falling is more likely than the EPS estimates decreasing for Amazon, given the robust nature of its earnings recovery since bottoming out following the pandemic. Remember, during the pandemic, Amazon made aggressive investments in its capacity. It wanted to make sure that customer experience remained strong during the pandemic. And since the situation was so unprecedented, Amazon was unsure how much to invest in extra capacity. The CEO said, if we were going to make a mistake, we wanted to make a mistake of over-investing, and that way the customer experience remained strong. We didn't want to make a mistake of under-investing, and then the customer experience was ruined during the pandemic, and then we would have to make up that reputation damage later on. So that's what they did. They over-invested during the pandemic in 2020, 2021, and early 2022, and that hurt earnings per share because there was too much investment in capacity. But since then, the growth in revenue has allowed Amazon to grow into those investments. And since they made those investments in 2020 and 2021, they haven't had to invest in capacity very much in the last 2 years. So that increase in revenue has flowed more so to the bottom line because of the increase in operating leverage, given how much they overinvested in the stages during the pandemic. So that's leading to expanding earnings per share for Amazon. And then the other area that's boosting earnings per share is its lucrative advertising segment is growing robustly, and it's become a top 3 digital advertising business worldwide, or among the top 3, at least in the US, climbing to the ranks close to Google, Alphabet, and Meta platform. So all of those 3 are driving Amazon's profitability. So if I was to give you my best case for where I think Amazon stock price will be by the end of 2026, my base case scenario would be something between the PE of 50 and 60 and a stock price between $275 per share and $325 per share. That's the range I think Amazon stock price will be in by the end of 2026, which leaves considerable upside from where it's at today. And so you can understand why I have Amazon stock rated as one of my top 24 stocks to buy in 2024, which if you want to see my full list of 24 stocks to buy, I'll link to the video at the end of this one so you can check that out as well. But overall, I think Amazon stock has considerable upside from here. And the factor that I think is the biggest risk for Amazon stock going forward is the PE multiple. This is where if Amazon stock price is to underperform my expectations for the next 2 years, the primary cause I predict will be from the PE multiple. That's where I think the underperformance will come from. If there is underperformance, the PE multiple could fall. Instead of falling in the range of 60 to 50, it could fall in the range down here from 30 to 20, even maybe on the lower end of the PE multiple ratio. So that's something to keep an eye out for. And of course, I will be updating you all along the way on the developments for Amazon stock as we move closer to 2026. Before I let you go, let me tell you about the greatest deal on YouTube. With just a click of a button, you can get free financial analysis from a professor with decades of investing experience. So what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you again soon.